Hi, this is Matt Brown again. Brain injury video part two. I just wanted to answer a few questions that I received with the last video that I posted. I got some questions about the timeline, the because I said I got my first concussion 35 years ago, roughly, um, and how did I get to 20 concussions by age 45? Somebody else asked about diet, what other effects of the concussion syndrome of the brain injury affects the rest of your body. So I'm gonna just take a minute and answer some of those questions. This shouldn't be a long video. As far as the timeline goes, I received my first concussion in a car accident. We were actually coming down a hill. My dad was driving a pickup truck, and I was 9 or 10. I think I was 9, and it only had lap belts. We didn't have the shoulder part, so just a lap belt. And we're coming down a hill, and there was a place that sold Christmas trees, and somebody was backing out of that house who was selling Christmas trees, and we didn't have time to stop. He didn't see us. We didn't have time to stop, so we slammed right into him as he backed out of the driveway. So I, of course, hit head first on the dashboard of the pickup truck because I had no shoulder protection, only the waist. Big old goose egg. I don't remember much after that. But at the time, concussions weren't considered serious, and nobody paid attention to you. If you went to the doctors, they would just make sure that you're not bleeding out your ears and your brains aren't showing, and send you home. So, of course, when you go to the doctors, just shook it off, waited for the swelling to go down, kept ice on it, rested, thought nothing of it. Probably a year or two later, started playing football. Um, got another concussion again. Didn't go to the doctors because what are they going to do? They're just going to tell you you got your bell rung. Go home, rest. You're not bleeding out your ears. Your brains aren't showing. You're good to go. So, probably another year after that, I was playing baseball and I got hit in the temple with a baseball, and that one knocked me out. So I actually did have to go to the doctors for that one. And I believe I might have cracked my orbital bone. I don't remember, but I was definitely knocked out. You could see actually just see the stitches from the baseball in my face for about a week or so. Um, and then shortly after that, again in baseball, I got hit. I was playing first base. A runner was coming down the baseline. He lowered his head, hit me with the helmet in my head, knocked me out. I was knocked out again. Um, my I want to say modified football, I think. Um, I got a concussion during a game, coming off the line, hit head to head with the guy in front of me, and it compressed my neck, and I was knocked out, but only briefly. So I was able to get back up and get in the huddle. Nobody even knew. Nobody even knew I had a concussion. I didn't say anything. I got back in the huddle before anybody knew I was hurt. I played the game like that. So that was probably stupid, but that's what I did. Um, I had one where I wrecked on a bike and I hit my head face first on a guardrail. Went end over end from the bike, striking the guardrail. And I probably should have gone to the doctors for that one, but I didn't. I was dizzy and I was seeing stars and I was stumbling around, and um, I don't even know how I got back home, to be honest. I don't know if I rode my bike home or if I walked home. I have no idea. I don't remember. I had another one where my dad and I were playing catch with the baseball, he threw it short and it hit the picnic table. And when it bounced off the picnic table, it hit me in the head. And I remember staggering for 2 steps before falling, and that's all I remember. I mean, everything was just spinning. I couldn't keep my balance. I took 2 steps. I remember the 2 steps, and then I don't remember anything after that. I had one in DC where we got rear-ended. A car hit at a stoplight, slammed into us, and I had no previous knowledge of this car about to hit us, so I couldn't prepare for it. And so when it hit, my head slammed back, and the whiplash concussion hit. And the rest were football, baseball, mostly sports, just football, baseball, bike accidents. Couple around the house, couple car accidents. They add up quick. Um, I didn't really notice, though, any long-term issues until about 5 to 7 years ago. That's when it really started to manifest itself. That's when it started to show up. Is something's wrong. Something's not right. I'm changing. My personality is changing. My physical abilities are changing. My cognition, my motor skills, my balance. My temper, everything was changing. It was out of the norm for me. So that's when we started to look into the possibility of brain injuries being the cause of these problems. And it came from the last concussion that I had in 2014, which was from a car accident. Very minor. I was just getting into the car. That's all it was. But it wasn't my car. I wasn't used to getting into it. It was a smaller car. And when I got in, the top of the door, the roof hit the side of my head. It snapped sideways. And I got nauseous. I got dizzy. I still ended up driving. I don't know why. I drove to get gas or something and came back home, and then I fell asleep. And that's all I remember of that. Somebody asked me about diet. There are other symptoms that go along with concussions, and it's your gut. Your gut is like your second brain. So it is important to take probiotics and to keep that gut healthy, that gut flora, because the brain barrier, brain blood barrier, I think it's called, will usually leak during injuries. And you also have what's called leaky gut syndrome as well. So if you have both of those, it's double trouble. It's like both of your brains, both your operating systems are damaged. So digestive issues, stomach aches, the gamut, you get those. And you also have to be concerned about the pituitary gland. Mine is partially damaged from the concussions. Pituitary gland controls your thyroid. I'm on thyroid medication because my thyroid doesn't work at all. So there's a lot of things, and your thyroid controls a lot of things. If you want to look it up, I'm not going to bore you with it, but if you want to look up what your thyroid controls, you'll be amazed at how much it does. So a lot of the brain injuries, the fatigue and the motor skills, the balance, the personality changes, those are just a portion. What it actually does to the rest of your body is also huge. So we can discuss that further if anybody has any other questions. But definitely, I would say the gut and the brain are truly connected, and if one's bad, the other's probably bad too. So it is important to keep that gut flora, keep those probiotics in there at the level they're supposed to be, so the bad bacteria isn't taking over. And I will see you when we talk again. Thank you.